Hey everyone, Melanie Minshinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. We've got a big sale going on for Labor Day this weekend, and so I wanted to give you a bonus video. My husband left my office for a few minutes, so I felt like this is a really good time to show you a really quick and simple card on how to create a really easy sunset by doing some masking or some stenciling with my magnificent mallard set. In addition to the stamp set, I'm going to be creating a version of this card today, but we're not going to do coloring. I just did a coloring video yesterday, so that'll give you an idea of what to do, but I am going to do kind of a more monochromatic fallish card today. So the Gina K inks that I've got, I'm using the dark chocolate to go along with the cardstock that I'm using. I've got her wild dandelion and I've got the tangerine twist. The cardstock that I have here, I've got a piece of the dark chocolate pure luxury. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I'm going to create a top fold card here, and it's going to be scored at 5 1/2 inches with my scoring buddy. So we can go ahead and fold this in half. Going to be doing all of my stamping on a piece of her Pure Luxury layering weight cardstock. So this is the thinner kind. I don't need the heavy base weight since I'm going to be layering it onto the dark chocolate. Going to need something to stamp with, so I've got the Mini Misty. And I'm also going to be using one of the Gina K stencils. This is the Sunshine one, so this is great for backgrounds. It's really graphic and bold, but you can also create really fun scenes with it. I'm also going to be using some of her blending brushes. So I've got one that I use for my yellow inks and one that I use for my orange. You might want to have a white gel pen handy just if you want to add some white over any of the areas that you blend over when you stamp those ducks. So let's go ahead and get started. This comes together really, really fast. So what I'm going to do, now you can do your backdrop first and then put your ducks on top of it, or you might want to stamp your ducks first just so that you know where you want to do your blending around it and kind of how much you want to emphasize that. So as you can see, I've got two versions of this card here, a husband and a wife, the male and the female flying duck. These are all colored to look like mallards, but depending on how you color them, they could look like a female as well. And I've got them flying out of a marsh by just stamping my cattail set over and over again. But I really want to do the one with the stenciling because I've had some people asking about those. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the ducks that are flying. And let's see. So we've got two facing left and two facing right. So either way you want to go. I did that on purpose so that you'd have that variety in your scenes. So on this card, I thought that they nested really nicely to go like that, but then we could also do them like this. So with the male above the female. I like the layout of this, but it is really up to you. So you've got wings that are flapping down and flapping up, and then I'm going to put my greeting right down here. So I'm going to put my magnets on there. Close the door. Ink this up with my chocolate ink. And I'm going to leave these on here, and then I can restamp them afterwards if I want to make them just super bold after I've done my blending over the images. Okay. All right, that looks really good. It was just one impression. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Put this aside. All right, so I'm going to start with my yellow ink first. And I want to have this, there's a lot of different places that you could put this. I could even put it, so many places I could put it, but I want to have it offset rather than right in the center of the card. So I'm going to go right about there. And it just, you've got both of their heads in there. You could even put the greeting inside there if you want. So I'm going to start with the yellow. Let me get this more centered. Make sure you can see it well. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to swirl my brush that I used for the yellow onto and over the stencil, over my ducks. And I like to try to do it not completely even. I like it to be just a little bit softer kind of have it go in and out, not all the way to the edge, and that's what really makes your card glow. If you go really, really solid, it's just going to look like something stamped yellow on white cardstock. But if you can kind of have those different variations, I just think it creates a lot more interest on your card. So I'm going to just pick this up, pull it away. So we see I went a lot darker there. So your card is going to be a lot more interesting when you're doing your stenciling if you use 2 colors in the stencil. I just think it always looks better, always creates more of a wow. But I really like how this looks, just that brown and that yellow together. But I'm going to add a little bit of orange. And I can see a little bit of orange on this because I didn't clean my stencil after the last time I did that card. So that is something to keep in mind. But I just want to add a little bit of the darker orange around the top of that sun, and that's just going to add some more interest to the card. You are welcome to tell me afterwards if you liked it without the orange. Hopefully you will like it better with the orange, but it's just going to show you 2 different looks. So I'm just gently go on a little bit up here and around. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and stamp our greeting. And if you went over that, you know, I don't mind when my blending goes over my images, but if you want to make some of the images details kind of pop out a little bit more, you can take the white gel pen and go in there, just adding a little bit of an eye there, and then on the tips of those little tails. Okay. Let's go ahead and add the greeting. So again, this is a really quick card. But I just love having these flying ducks. It just really adds a lot of interest to your scenes. So for this one, I think I'm going to say, so thankful for you. My husband and I are going to be celebrating our 22nd anniversary this year, so that's a big deal. Does not feel like 22 years. Actually, I think I want to make it like that. Okay. All right, so close that. Ink this up with the dark chocolate, and we are done. Oh, you are going to need some adhesive. I forgot to say that. So hopefully I can find some on my cluttered desk, or some little foam squares to attach that. Oh no, I put so thankful for your... Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. All right, how can I save this really quickly? I got to be careful. There's a for you and a for your. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear off... I know, you're like, Melanie, please do something else. But I don't have any other paper cut out for that. So I am going to try to make this look like I meant to do it. And so I could go all the way up the side, or I could tear out the corner. So let's look and see what that is doing. Tear it a little bit more like this. So some different ways that you can save this. You could just cut out another little piece of cardstock and then restamp it. Go right over that greeting, make kind of like a little pennant or a banner. You could use one of the die cuts. There's actually some little pennants or little banner labels in this Master Layouts 4 set that I used with the scallop dies. Yeah, I'm liking that. It works for me. See? So that's the secret, the success in marriage. You make it work. All right. So I'm going to do it just like that. I actually really like that. I think that adds an interesting twist. So here's some of the Connect glue. And just add a little bit of this to the back. And we are done. So easy. And if I wanted to make it look like it's a little bit lower in the sky, we could add some of those cattails at the bottom in the corner. But I'm just going to leave it like this. Boom. Done. Yay! All right. So let me show you the original card. And that card. A lot of different configurations that you could do, or different duck families that you could make, but I just really like these two. And I really like that open space there. So you don't always have to color your images. If you're pressed on time or you just don't have the energy to do it, don't feel like you can't stamp a card. I hope this card was helpful. I hope you can go take advantage of that Labor Day sale if you're watching it this weekend. Please visit us at Gina K Designs and see us in our Facebook group. Thanks so much for watching today. I will post all of the information about the supplies in my description below. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye-bye.